We have taken a look at the pulse on the ground in Northeast. All 15 seats in Northeast have gone to polls today. Meanwhile, a high-octane battle between the BJP and the Congress is taking place in Assam as well, especially in Dibrugarh and Jorhat. In the other seven sister states also that has gone for polls today. 2 seats in Arunachal Pradesh, 2 seats in Meghalaya, 1 seat in Mizoram and 1 seat in Nagaland, 1 seat in Sikkim, 5 seats each in Assam, 2 in Manipur and 1 each in Tirupura. In fact, we'll have my colleagues who have spoken to voters of Northeast to understand their key issues in this election. Let's take a look at what they had to say. And then, of course, my colleague has had an exclusive conversation with Gaurav Gogoi, Congress candidate from Jorhat, and BJP candidate Sarbanand Sonowal from Dibrugarh. In fact, let's listen in.
The voting day is ongoing. With us, we have the Jorhat candidate from Congress, Gaurav Gogoi, an MP. So far, what has been the mood you have picked up? You've been traveling across the constituency. It's quite a big constituency. What has been the mood you have picked up?
No, it's been a very positive mood. Thankfully, the weather has been kind. People have been queuing up. We've got a few reports of EVM malfunctions, but that's been looked into by our team. But largely, I see a lot of people having traveled a great distance to come back to their home state to vote. I've met people who've come back from Dubai to vote. I've met people who've come back from Andhra Pradesh to vote. I've talked to people who've driven like hundreds of kilometers just to vote. So it's really nice. I think it's a very positive atmosphere. And it's a vote for democracy. It's a vote for
What has been the energy of the booth workers? We have seen a lot of tables and all the booth workers on the streets, on the highway. What has been the energy you've picked up?
No, it's just been euphoric, very extremely happy, extremely pleased. And that's how it should be. It's been a very positive atmosphere. It's going to be a vote to defend the democracy, and it's a vote to defend the constitution.
BJP has been campaigning aggressively, and in the last 2 days, 3 days, they are saying that more and more BJP workers are joining the Congress. Do you think this is a setback for you in Jorhat?
No, I think our graph has only risen in the last few days. I think we started on a high and we ended even on a higher note.
What is your estimation? You are an MP already, so you must know the ground reality. What is your estimation? What will be your margin for victory if you are?
No, I just hope we still looking at the turnouts. I do hope for a higher turnouts. We've got some figures yet, but we're waiting for the figures.
In the late 1970s, your father won from this particular seat. Today, you are interacting with these people, with public from Sibsagar and Jorhat. What is the emotions that you are feeling right now?
It's hard to describe. It's hard to put in words. But it's just good to see that young and old, everybody is enthused about voting.
Last question, what is your assessment for the overall performance of the Congress party in Assam?
I think, as I said, I can sense in my own election that the hype of the Prime Minister and his governance is waning, and people are through our campaign are able to express the disappointment, and this is only going to increase in the
गौरव जी से आप कैसे खुश है? गौरव जी से बहुत खुश है। कैसा लगता है? अच्छा लगता है?
अच्छा लगता है।
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत
So as you can see here, the Gaurav Gogoi is now traveling in Nazira and across the Jorhat and Sibsagar constituencies, where he's interacting with the local public, and he is very confident that the Congress is going to get a big victory in Jorhat constituency, where his father, former Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi, also won in the late 70s. With video journalist Nisanta Bora, this is Nibir Deka reporting for NewsX. Sir, how hopeful are you?
Yes,
You just consider the
namaskar.
vote.
Yeah, it is very nice, and I'm very much optimistic about my.
Again, I
chances.
repeat, after 20 years,
Namaskar,
2004, you were the
namaskar.
MP here. Again, I repeat.
अच्छा, ठीक है।
ठीक है, Again, I repeat, sir, for you.
ठीक है।
Sir, just talk about how hopeful are you just once, and what do you think are people voting for this time?
Yeah, people are very happy. That's why they're coming in large numbers, and people participation makes.
2004, you were the MP. Again, you are coming back, sir.
Yeah,
Full power.
of course.
Any message to Modi's vision that people are coming out in numbers to vote for?
Yeah. Modi's vision is very clear. In the next 5 years, India is going to become one of the top three economy of the world.
Last assessment, how much margin you are winning with?
No, margin will be big. Margin will be big. Let the polling to be over.
So this is Sarbananda Sonowal who just casted his vote in Dibrugarh constituencies, and he says that the margin will be even bigger than the last time, and he is expecting a huge turnout and a huge margin for him after he casted a vote in Dibrugarh constituency. With video journalist Nisantapara, this is Nibir Dekar reporting for NewsX.
All right, Mr. Pramod Swami, BJP spokesperson, joins us on the program. Matthew Anthony, Congress spokesperson, with us on the program as well. Tasaduk Ariful Hussain, state coordinator for the National Election Watch, is also with us. Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, is with me in the studio. Last but by no means the least, Advocate Manasvi Thapar, political analyst, also joins us on the program. Well, the Bharatiya Janata Party, Joyita, has been very, very serious about Northeast. You know, regardless of it being Manipur or Dibrugarh. If you look at Dibrugarh as well, you know, they have Mr. Sonowal representing this particular constituency, which was, of course, held by Rameshwar Teli, you know, who was not chosen to represent it. And it obviously considers each of these constituencies as not only pertinent, but they're also looking at a pattern where the BJP has been trying to establish, you know, some sort of a semblance when it comes to the polity and the environment the Northeast has been in or under for the last few years.
Well, when you're looking at the Northeast, the BJP actually even, I mean, if you talk to people in the Northeast, what they say is that the BJP, when it comes to infrastructure building and all, a lot of work has been happening in Northeast, which I would suggest, I mean, I would say even people who do, I mean, there are neutral people admit. And even otherwise, you know, when you're looking at the roads and the bridges that have been built, if you remember that Arunachal, not just Assam, the Northeast as a whole, a lot of infra work has happened. More can, of course, happen. And of course, when you're looking at Assam in particular, there is that Himanta Biswa Sarma factor. And that plays very, you know, that's a very important factor in these elections. Among the seats that, but at the same time, interestingly, Assam is also a state where Congress has still has some presence. Okay, and that is one of the reasons why the BJP did not have a clean sweep in the last elections. So I would say that, you know, AIUDF is there. So it is not a clean sweep for the BJP in Assam in particular, but at the same time, when you are looking at the Northeast as a whole, there are 25 seats, and out of 25, I think BJP would be eyeing to get at least 20 to 21 seats. And so I think that is what exactly they are planning for. But yes, there are problem spots like in Manipur and also. So let's see how it goes, how the voters vote.
Manasvi, let's talk about Jorhat as well. You know, Mr. Gogoi is a strong candidate. He's following on the footsteps of his father, Mr. Tarun Gogoi, who represented this seat twice before. But the Congress finds itself on a sticky wicket. You know, apart from criticizing the BJP when it comes to Northeast, they haven't done anything. Do you think that the formula with which they have descended upon in the Northeast is tenable anymore, considering the fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been extremely meticulous about their messaging? Even when, you know, they have nothing to say, they say nothing.
See, the biggest issue with the North, specifically for the Northeast, is that whatever work the Congress would have done or had done in the last 70 years, somehow that has been diminished. Somehow that has not been communicated very well, or not at all communicated by the Congress. So what is happening is the perception of today's voter is that it is only the BJP which is looking towards the Northeast. It is only the BJP which is having the policy of look east. It is only the BJP which is developing the Northeast. But the reality is that Congress has done a credible work there. But somehow the perception, the communication is not there from the Congress side of play. And further, there is a consistent damage being done in Congress by their leaders leaving the Congress and joining the BJP. And apart from the communication part, BJP has also shown the leadership factor is also there for the BJP, be it at the Prime Minister level or at the state level individually. So that is something BJP has done well. After losing consecutively in the Northeast, Congress somehow could not come back. They could not develop their own new vote share. They could not create their own leaders. On the contrary, Congress has acted as an incubator wherein leaders from Congress are easily accepted in the Northeast in BJP. The same leaders who have were developed by the Congress are now easily taken by from karyakartas to the leadership level are immediately taken by the BJP. So that is something which the people are accepting, that they are okay with the leaders, but somehow the communication, the grassroots connection of the Congress is missing. That is going to be damaging for the Congress, and that is going to be a great advantage for BJP, because there is a persona of Prime Minister Narendra Modi which people believe, and also the local leaders which are aiding that communication very well at the grassroots level is going to be supportive for the BJP. That is what the perception looks like.
Okay, Mr. Pramod Swami, are you there with us, sir? Mr. Swami, are you there with us? Okay, Mr. Matthew Anthony, Congress spokesperson, also with us. Mr. Anthony?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Well, we spoke about Assam, we spoke about Jorhat. The Congress party, obviously, if I remember correctly, was very dominant in Northeast. All of that, obviously faded away with the BJP sweeping a number of these seats in the Lok Sabha as well as the Assembly. What has been the Congress strategy to make a comeback in the Northeast, and what are the agendas that you feel give any kind of an edge to your party? Of course, the Manipur episode, a number of refugee crises in Northeast has been brought up by Rahul Gandhi and the senior Congress management time and again, but they really have not fructified or descended into votes for your party.
Thanks for taking me in this show. I need a couple of minutes to explain the Northeast phenomenon to all of you here, as well as to the audience. I'm thankful to the other panelists to have said that Congress has contributed tremendously for the building of Northeast. And history need not have to be retold again and again, that the Northeast states were actually built as states, or the states were formed under the Congress regime. And you also should understand that none of the Northeast states, except barring Assam and a little bit of Tripura, none of them have their own revenue resources apart from the central government grant. And it is the Congress which established the denier and as well as the grants to the entire Northeast and consistently invested in the Northeast. I've been living in the Northeast for the last 2 years since Meghalaya election. And I challenge the people who say about infrastructure, let us come to Meghalaya and let us travel from Meghalaya to Shillong to Tura. Let us go to Mizoram and let's travel from Aizawl to Lungli or Aizawl to Chambai. Or let us go to Arunachal and travel the road from Itanagar to other places. Let us go to Nagaland. The Bharat Jodo Yatra was there for 257 kilometers. The national highway is going through forest where there are no roads, but these roads were awarded, constructed, money has been taken out. So the developments are on the paper, money is looted out of the system, and there is nothing there of what is being claimed. Because most of the people who speak about Northeast here in the TV, what I've seen is most of them are sitting in Delhi or from their places of comfort, have not even visited the Northeast states much, and then going by the story which is coming in the paper. Now, having said about the Congress leadership going into the BJP in Assam, let me tell you this very clearly, that Himanta Biswa Sharma is one of the most corrupt chief ministers in the entire Northeast. Second is, he has taken out the entire Congress leadership with him, who has worked with him, because he doesn't trust the BJP leaders. Now, imagine the insult the BJP workers who has faced in the BJP after working so hard and getting the power. They have been sidelined and ignored by Himanta. And because he doesn't trust, the BJP workers, he has taken people, and he continues to take people from Congress party because he just doesn't trust BJP, or he is insecure about BJP. And the people of the entire Northeast are worried about the unemployment, are worried about the minority torture which is happening by the BJP, and they are also worried about the 6th schedule protection which they have, as well as the 371 article protection which they have. And these all are going to reflect in this election, where BJP is going to face a humiliating defeat in the entire Northeast.
Okay, Mr. Swami, would you like to respond to that? To what Mr. Anthony said? That's a very serious charge against a number of people from Bharatiya Janata Party, including the Chief Minister. Mr. Swami?
इसके पहले जो कांग्रेस के प्रवक्ता ने कहा कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट के बारे में उन्होंने बहुत सी बातें कही, तो मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद 70 बार से ज्यादा नॉर्थ ईस्ट का दौरा किया है। इसके पहले किसी भी प्रधानमंत्री ने नॉर्थ ईस्ट का दौरा इतनी बार नहीं किया। दूसरी बात, इन्होंने कई डेवलपमेंट की, तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा 2013 से लेकर 2014 तक इनके समय में 8,480 किलोमीटर सड़कों का निर्माण हुआ था, और एनडीए के समय में 15,735 किलोमीटर नेशनल हाईवे का निर्माण है जो एनडीए ने किया है। इनके समय में पर डे जो सड़कों का निर्माण था वो 0.6 किलोमीटर था, और एनडीए के समय में 1.5 किलोमीटर पर डे नेशनल हाईवे का निर्माण हो रहा है। इनके समय में रेलवे का बजट 2014 में मात्र 2,000 करोड़ था, और आज एनडीए के समय में 10,200 करोड़ रुपया का जो बजट जो है वो हमने निर्धारित किया है। 13 फाइनेंस कमीशन में इन्होंने नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लिए 87,000 करोड़ रुपए अलॉट किए थे। मोदी जी ने 14 फाइनेंस कमीशन में 3,13,375 करोड़ रुपए अलॉट किए। दूसरी बात इन्होंने कही कि हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा सबसे करप्ट चीफ मिनिस्टर है, तो मैं इनको ये कहना चाहूंगा कि कांग्रेस पार्टी जिसके युवराज स्वयं आज बेल पे है नेशनल हेराल्ड केस में, उनको, और जिनके अपने घर शीशे के होते हैं, वे दूसरों के घरों पे पत्थर नहीं मारा करते। और हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी के विरुद्ध में अगर आपके पास में एक भी तथ्य है तो मैं चैलेंज देता हूं, आप कोर्ट में जाकर करके उनके विरुद्ध में एफआईआर दीजिए। आप एफआईआर दर्ज नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन आपके नेता आज बेल में है, ये सारा भारत वर्ष जानता है। तो जिनके अपने नेता बेल पे है, उस पार्टी के प्रवक्ताओं को भ्रष्टाचार के ऊपर में अपना मंतव्य देने का कोई नैतिक अधिकार नहीं है। दूसरी बात आज ये है कि अभी चुनाव होने जा रहे हैं, और अभी आज ही कुछ अंचलों में चुनाव हुए हैं। चुनाव के नतीजे आने के बाद में पता चल जाएगा कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट से कांग्रेस मुक्त हो चुकी है। और आज जो ये कह रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस के लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी में जा रहे हैं, तो आप पे चिंतन करिए कि कांग्रेस के लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी में क्यों जा रहे हैं। उनका कांग्रेस की नीतियों पे विश्वास नहीं रहा, उनका कांग्रेस के नेतृत्व पे विश्वास नहीं रहा, इसीलिए आज वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास आज प्राइम मिनिस्टर का चेहरा है, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी। आपके पास में कौन सा प्राइम मिनिस्टर का कैंडिडेट है पोजीशन का, आप नाम नहीं बता सकते। आपके यहाँ 20 प्राइम मिनिस्टर के कैंडिडेट है, तो देश की जनता किसके ऊपर विश्वास करेगी। आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास नीति भी है, नेतृत्व भी है और नियत भी है, और उसी के लिए आप देखिए पूरा भारत वर्ष जो है आज मोदी जी की जो सुनामी में पूरा भारत वर्ष जो है आज मोदी
चलिए एंथनी जी से एक जवाब भी लेंगे, बट बिफोर दैट लेट मी रोप इन आरिफुल हुसैन इनटू दिस कन्वर्सेशन एज वेल। मिस्टर हुसैन, सर आपके पास वापस आऊंगा मैं सर, एक मोहलत दीजिए सर। मिस्टर आरिफुल हुसैन, आर यू देयर विद अस?
Yes, I'm there.
All right, well, Assam, of course, so far has enjoyed, a lot of stability if you compare it with some of the other sister states. But the fact of the matter is that, the state has changed its, political loyalties many times in the past as well. But the BJP more or less has been able to pin down and nail down what actually clicks in the state. Do you think there is perhaps a done deal for the Bharatiya Janata Party? And of course, Mr. Swamy also read out a number of developments and advancements that the BJP has focused on, which were perhaps non-existent or slow in comparison when the UPA was around. Is that going to be the big watchdog that, separates the wheat from the chaff?
Well, as a, election watch personnel, so I don't have anything to do with either Congress winning or BJP winning. But my concern is that what is the kind of, electoral process that is going on, and what is the situation that is happening in the northeastern states specifically. So if you see, I don't see any level playing game now in this election. If you consider that election campaign makes a lot of influence on the result, then the election campaign is not equal. Number one, there is lots of money with one particular party and the other party is having no money to campaign even. Okay, So one party has lots of money and lots of, karyakarta in all over the state and each and every village and each and every booth. But the other parties do not have money, and then you know that the ruling party is having almost illegal money, which is Supreme Court has declared due to the electoral bond. They have gathered more than 66,000 crores of rupees. But on the other hand, the other political party has striving for the money, and they do not have money to campaign. So it is quite eminent that
So it's not the ruling party. It's not the ruling party alone that has illegal money. It's electoral bonds, and everybody took advantage of it, right? That's factually incorrect what you said.
Proportionate, actually. It is not proportionate. If you see, one is getting more than 50%, and all others are sharing less than 50%. So that is one. No. And number two is the kind of pressure on the independent institutions.
Okay.
There is we all have seen.
Okay, we have a paucity of time. I want Joyita to respond to what you said, and then I also want Mr. Anthony to come in and respond to what Mr. Swami had said. Joyita?
Well, to call oneself an independent analyst and then to basically repeat the talking points of the so-called India Alliance, well, I don't think that's exactly a show of neutrality, number one. And when you are when you are talking about neutrality, is it a fact? You see, as journalists, do we feel suppressed, oppressed, muzzled by the government? We don't. So are we talking about, if you go into the nitty-gritties of everything, the Congress also, everybody has been trying to bend the system. And what I think is that the EC is doing a remarkable job. All these kind of aspersions that are being cast on the EC about the way the elections are being conducted. Well, I don't think that's fair. Number one, they're doing a remarkable job. And given whatever be it, whatever the so-called conditions not right for being this party and that party, for the last 10 years or more than that, nobody has stopped the Congress from trying to develop a ground presence in states that matter. So when the product is not working, how can you possibly expect, when your product is not okay, it is not up to the market standards, and then you start blaming everything except your product, then I think that's giving excuses.
By product, you don't mean any person, right?
No, I just mean a product.
Okay, all right. Mr. Anthony, we've run out of time, but it's only fair I give you an opportunity to respond to what was said by Mr. Swami. Please do it under a couple of minutes. We have a paucity of time.
I say that BJP is not BJP alone. It is a combination of their allies, ED, CBI, and other enforcement agencies. So they use that to their advantage. Now, you say about PM visiting Northeast. How many times PM visited Manipur in the last 1 year? He has time to visit all the international countries. He has time to broker peace in the international countries. He has time to visit for all the campaigns he visited. More than 60,000 people got relocated, 200 people got dead, and you have two governments, the state government as well as the central government. PM has not visited Manipur. He is scared of visiting Manipur, and he is engineering the one. And he is personally involved in the corruption of electoral bonds as well as the PM Care Fund, because PM Care Fund is not a government fund, and PM is directly involved in the corruption. Himanta Biswa Sarma, CBI has not questioned.
But the Home Minister said, Mr. Anthony, that if this is so illegal, why did the opposition, take money through it?
See, now
why did they not protest when this was initiated? That's hypocrisy.
I didn't interrupt. Mr. Swami, I didn't interrupt when you spoke. So let me tell you this. The donations which came to us, you can check, whether we had ED, CBI, or whether we had conducted raids, whether we had given contracts to any one of them, whether we had did anything, to favor any of those donors. And you can compare, with what has come out in the report by many news agencies, what has come out on the raids conducted to the parties who made donations, and the prepaid donations which is made, which was rewarded with contracts, the other donations which came after raids being conducted. So it's a fair play, it's transparent information, you can check through it.
Okay.
And do we have an ED or CBI with us?
So, प्रमोद स्वामी जी कोई टिप्पणी करना चाहेंगे आप? वक्त की हमारे पास किल्लत है, जल्दी से.
मैं सिर्फ एक ही बात कहना चाहता हूं। इन्होंने कहा ईडी की और सीबीआई की बात कही। 2014 में आपकी सरकार थी, डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह साहब देश के प्रधानमंत्री थे और 2014 में जब चुनाव हुआ तो मात्र आपको 44 सीटें मिली थी। उस समय ईडी और सीबीआई सब आपके साथ में थे। आप इस बात को क्यों स्वीकार नहीं कर रहे हैं कि देश की जनता आपको नकार रही है?
चलिए ठीक है, ऑलराइट, यू मेड योर पॉइंट, वी हैव रन आउट ऑफ टाइम।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.